Yo, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy D White bringing you yet another YouTube video at this time. So basically what I'm going to be discussing with you guys today is we got new zombie support coming out. So you already know I'm usually the first to jump on this zombie support when it reveals, of course. So we have two cards that were revealed for the premieres for Ignition Assault, and the Secret Slayers finally released the boss monster for it, its effects and stats and stuff like that. So that's basically what we're going to be discussing in this video. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. So first card that was premiered for Ignition Assault is Guard Ghost. Now this is a level 4 zombie with 1800 attack, 100 defense, attributes dark of course, and the effect reads: if this card is special summoned from the graveyard, you can target one monster you control. It cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects this turn. During the end phase, if this card was currently banished and it was banished this turn, you can add this card to your hand. You can only use each effect of Guard Ghost once per turn. The second card is 9 Lives Cat. It's an XZ, surprisingly enough, requiring 2 level 9 monsters. Its stats are 900 attack, 3300 defense, and its effect reads: your opponent cannot target other monsters you control that were special summoned from the graveyard with card effects. You can detach one material from this card, then target one level 9 monster in your graveyard or one monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon it. You can only use this effect of 9 Lives Cat once per turn. So simple enough cards. So let's discuss Guard Ghost first. So when this card is special from the graveyard, target one monster you control. It cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects this turn. So, obviously in zombies there are multiple ways of summoning zombies from the graveyard, Mizuki and Book of Life, and stuff like that. Any way you can special summon zombies, this effect will go off. And obviously you can target itself with its effects, because it doesn't say except Guard Ghost, so you can target itself for its own effect, which is really good. And second effect, during the end phase, this card is currently banished and was banished this turn, you can add this card to your hand. So yeah, there's obviously another variety of ways of banishing stuff like that, and it doesn't matter where it's banished from. So it can be banished from the hand, from the graveyard, and from the field, and even from the deck as well. So we already know we have ways of doing that. Gold Sark can banish this from the deck, and you have cards like the Shiranis, of course. Shogun Saga can banish this and gain 1800 attack, and then during the end phase it comes back to the hand. Samurai can banish this and gain 600 attack. Variety of different ways. And also from the hand, since it's dark, you can banish this off of Allure of Darkness. I know I made that distinction with Shinobi Necro, and I was corrected by Billy Williams on that, because Shinobi Necro has to be banished from the graveyard in order to activate its effect to special summon itself. This can be banished from anywhere, now including Allure of Darkness, and it will get it back to your hand, which will give you some pluses on that. So you're not really losing any advantage off this, because you're getting this card back during the end phase. So yeah, so that's that. It seems like a pretty cool utility card, and zombies have that thing where they're specialized in special summoning from the graveyard. So this effect will actually be live if you play it pretty often, if you revolve your strategies around it. Alright, so let's talk about 9 Lives Cat. Your opponent cannot target monsters you control that was special summoned from the graveyard. Card effects, of course, being able to have your stuff non-targeting, which is really good, obviously, against the Sky Striker matchup, more permanence, none of that. Being able to protect your zombies from targeting effect is really good in that matchup. So yeah, you can drop a material to summon a level 9 or monster in your opponent's graveyard. So that's obviously, if you're running this card with Zombie World, you can attach a material and especially summon one of your opponent's monsters, because all of your opponent's monsters are zombies. So you can do that with Zombie World on the field. So we also have some practical, I think my Akashi would be a good way to summon this, because being able to summon Yuko, and then we also have the generator boss, the zombie one, which tributes a generator or a zombie to special summon a special summon a zombie from the graveyard. That's different from the attributed monster, of course. So she can actually attribute herself to special summon a another zombie from the graveyard, which is really good. So she's pretty good just getting her on the field. My Akashis can pretty much set up for her. Because, let's say Yuko Musume can send a zombie from the deck to the graveyard. You can send her. And then, use Mizuki or Book of Life to special summon her. While you're doing your syncing up with, the Mayakashi shenanigans, you can get to Yuko and then special summon her off of Mizuki. And then you can, XZ these two into Nine Lives Cat. Nine Lives Cat can attach a material. Special summon, one of your level 9s from the graveyard. Because I believe the cards are considered in the graveyard at resolution of this card, so you should be able to special summon one of these. So yeah, you can use Yuko, when it's special summoned from the graveyard to pop a monster your opponent controls, and then basically go from your plays from there. So, it's an interesting card. It has some implications with obviously with zombies and special summoning in the graveyard, which is pretty cool. But how often you're gonna really get this effect off? It's anyone's guess. You would have to literally build your strategy around this card to see it reliably. So otherwise honestly I wouldn't really play it. So that is my thoughts on that. It's okay. The Gargoyle seems pretty cool with the whole banishing aspect. Being banished off of a lore to get your pluses, or sharing no effects and stuff like that. So so let's go ahead and talk about the Secret Slayer boss, which is Golden Lord Elder Richie. It's an interesting name, and it has some interesting effects to say the least. So let's go ahead and get into it. So now this is a level 10 light zombie effect monster with 2500 attack, 2800 defense. You can only use the effect of this card's name once per turn. Send this card and one spell and trap from your hand to the graveyard. Then target one card on the field and send that card to the graveyard. Second effect reads, if this card is in your graveyard, you can send one spell and trap you control to the graveyard. Add this card to your hand. Then you can special summon one zombie monster from your hand. And it also it gains 1000 attack and defense and cannot be destroyed by effects until the end of the opponent's turn. That is really cool. So let's go over this card, of course. Send this card and one spell and trap from your hand to the graveyard. Target one card on the field and send that card to the graveyard. So going by that effect alone, I'm assuming this archetype is obviously going to have spell and trap effects that may trigger when sent to the graveyard, to get bonus effects and stuff like that. That's what I'm hoping for. If that's not the case, you're just going to be, going neg every time you use this effect, which, it's not very practical in the sense. So, but anyway, target one card on the field and send that card to the graveyard. That's really good to getting around the effects of cards that, trigger off destruction or cannot be destroyed. So it just flat out sends it to the graveyard, which is really good. So the second effect, this card is in the graveyard. You can send one spell and trap card you control to the graveyard, add it to your hand. So you're getting extra use out of the monster, of course, which is really good as well. Being able to use its first part of the second effect to trigger the first effect. So it can basically loop off itself as long as you have the spell and traps needed to activate these effects. So then you can special summon one zombie monster from your hand. So that's really good as well. So obviously it can special summon itself, since it counts, it's in the hand on resolution, of course. So you can special summon itself and it gains 1000 attack. So it turns it from 25 to 3500 attack, and it cannot be destroyed by effects until the end of your opponent's turn. So you have a no destruction 3500 attack monster that's that's really good. Nice beefy presence on the field until the end of your opponent's turn. So so if you do all of this on your turn, of course, during the opponent's turn, they won't be able to destroy this. But obviously there's other means of getting monsters off the field and stuff. So, not being able to be destroyed was once good, but since there are multiple methods of getting monsters on the field, it's not as good as it used to be. So other than that, Giving it, what. So basically, I don't know. It's still pretty much up in the air on what summoning method it may use, or it may not use a summoning method at all. It may just be all effect monsters. We just don't know until the rest of the card is revealed. Then, of course, I will definitely come back to correct the record on my prediction when the rest of the support is revealed. Alright, so those are my thoughts. As always, guys, leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'm already expecting two particular people to appear in my comment section, Billy Williams and Proto. I'm waiting for you guys. Hit my comment section up and let me know what your thoughts on these cards are. Alright, so I will leave that at that. So I'll be bringing you guys more videos in the meantime. Until then, peace, YouTube.